When it comes to films, there are some that really stand the test of time. They go on to become a part of movie-making history and points of cultural reference for entire generations. That's why, when these movies are finished, their props can fetch incredibly high price tags when it's time to auction them off. More often than not, people are willing to spend however much it takes to feel like they own a piece of that magical moment. Some of these movie props are pretty reasonably priced. Others, however, sell for amounts that sound just insane. Check out the most expensive movie props ever sold. One. James Bond's Aston Martin DB5 from Goldfinger. Sean Connery drove this car in James Bond movies, playing the sexy British spy who preferred his martinis shaken, not stirred. The car sold at auction in 2010 for $4.6 million. 2. Marilyn Monroe's dress from The 7-Year Itch. This iconic white dress sold at auction in 2011 for $4.6 million. It was originally owned by the late actress Debbie Reynolds, who hoped to one day open up a Hollywood costume museum. Her plans never came to fruition. 3. Steve McQueen's racing suit from Le Mans. The racing suit McQueen wore in this film is how he is most well remembered today, and it sold in 2011 for $984,000. It had been in the possession of a man who won it in a contest when he was 12 for 40 years. 4. Audrey Hepburn's little black dress from Breakfast at Tiffany's. The opening scene of this movie classic features Hepburn standing outside of Tiffany's wearing this memorable black dress by Givenchy. It sold for $807,000 in 2006, surprising auctioneers who thought it would go for a fraction of that sum. 5. Judy Garland's ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz. While many pairs of these slippers were made for the film, only 4 survive to this day. The last to go up for auction sold for $666,000. Another pair was once stolen from the Judy Garland Museum, and an anonymous donor offered $1 million for their safe return. 6. The DeLorean from Back to the Future. This futuristic car became a hit on the big screen when it was transformed into a time machine. The one from the film sold for $541,000 when it went up for auction, with some of the proceeds going to benefit Michael J. Fox's Parkinson's Foundation. 7. The Maltese Falcon from The Maltese Falcon. This movie prop from the film starring Humphrey Bogart sold at auction in 2013 for $4.1 million. There has been some speculation about whether or not it was the real prop used during the movie, since several copies were made. 8. Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from Star Wars. The lightsaber Luke used in the first 2 movies was sold in 2008 for $240,000. During filming, a wooden stick held the place where the light beam would be generated in post-production. 9. Audrey Hepburn's dress from My Fair Lady. This stunning dress was sold at auction in 2011 for an astounding $3.7 million. It was designed by legendary costume designer Cecil Beaton, who also served as the art director on the film. 10. The Cowardly Lion costume from The Wizard of Oz. This famous costume was sold at a New York auction for over $3 million. It was made up of actual real lion hides and weighed more than 60 pounds, which must have made it really difficult to wear under the hot lights. Isn't it crazy to think that someone actually had enough money to make these amazing pieces of movie history their own? Can you imagine what else could go up for auction?